got we got some things to do. Hey, we finally got a little crack in the markets yesterday. It was a decent sell-off into the close. Nothing epic if you really think about it, like it kind of gave up like a day's gains, give or take. But we do have some spots here. I mean, we're like pretty overbought at this point. You have a lot of stocks that were up like 10, 12 days in a row. So a little bit of a pullback is probably in the cards here. We have a level around this kind of 366 that goes back about 2 days on the Qs. If we lose that, then I think, we go green to red and the fade is back on. It is the last day of the quarter. So last day of quarter is always a little bit tricky. If we had a hot quarter, then the last days of the quarter is like essentially like a window dressing and, they kind of ramp the market up. But we didn't really have a hot quarter, right, in the overall markets minus this last couple of weeks. So I don't know like what level of window dressing there would even be, but in general, that is something to be aware. It's kind of like last day of the quarter can often be like an OPEX day. If you ever see you ever try to trade on like quad witching, like you get like a hot hour in the morning and then it's a big shit show for the rest of the day. We could get something like that. So that's something that we'll have to be mindful of today. Like, hey, we've got a last day of the quarter. Anything can happen. But I think that level, that 366 level, that's going to be the spot that we got to really kind of keep an eye on. And we'll see what the fuck's going on. Beyond that, though, there is more than enough kind of earnings plays and stuff that are popping up here. So I think we'll have like some other things that we can run around it. What the fuck, motherfuckers? The fucking TC1000 gappers always fucking do this. Hold on here, one sec. What up? Let me refresh this bad boy. How's everybody doing? All right. Andrew, what's up? What's going on in the great state of Canada? Hold on. Hey, Frederick, what's up? We back. Cool. Let's take a look and see what kind of earnings plays we got. There's been a whole host of like kind of small caps and mid caps starting to make moves, especially out of some of these like kind of former, plays. So this is something probably like, if you're into these kind of stocks, they are notoriously obviously tricky to trade. But if you're into these kind of things, this is probably the type of play that, normally does get picked up at some point. If you like small caps, like go for it. Not really my particular thing today, but you are starting to see all these like former kind of stocks with these big movers. They're all starting to get picked up. Like that's something you can definitely do. Not my particular flavor, but hey, who doesn't like this kind of stuff? VIP supports approves $1 billion repurchase. You know what? This is probably like Baba had the repurchase news about a week or two ago, right? It's like a $25 billion repurchase, and the stock started to fly that particular day. This could be something. Frankly, this could be something. I'd add it to the list. I have one caveat on this. Baidu had some delisting news out yesterday, so the rest of the China stocks are actually all gapping down. So, we don't know if that's necessarily going to take this down with it. I keep an eye on it, but it's not a priority just because you got Baidu over here and Baidu exploring potential options after SEC warns of US delisting. That came out just a little bit ago. I think it was like mid-afternoon yesterday. So that could put a big damper on the Chinese stocks. Frankly, if the market's going to fade and we need to fade, then we hit the Chinese stocks. That's probably the best ones to do just because you'll get the double whammy on it. And we'll go into those in a hot second here. Frey Battery, blah, blah, blah. KC. See, this is like tough. So COD Holdings launch 100 million share buyback plan. So like a lot of these kind of Chinese, Hong Kong names are, some of them are going to do these share buybacks and they could work. But when the overall sector is getting hit with other news, it becomes a little bit tricky. Let's keep an eye on this because it is fresh. I think that's probably this and VIX. Like these are the type of stocks that if these Chinese stocks reverse, then they're probably the type of stocks that we need to be in. We'll kind of watch them both ways over here. Let's take a look here. VTNR, junk. Yo, did anybody play this shit yesterday? That is a mega penis candle, right? Like that's, you get something like that going, you get yourself a nice month. I don't know if this is something we can go again because it was just $6, a couple days ago. Yeah, but something to keep an eye on probably for some of you degens. Yeah, jump. Good. All right, so not that much on the earnings side. If you really are news plays, you got LGVN, ISPO, VIPS, KC are probably the best out of the group. Let's see if we got anything on the downside. MLX. AML Hulse trading common stocks. To redraw 2x. Something like this probably is going to be in play. These kind of things, like whenever these kind of news pieces come out on them, these biotech stocks are all like just one trick ponies for the most part. When these kind of news pieces come out, like they can just die off they can die off a lot more than you think because they usually just have like one product going. And when the news comes out on it, they just bleed off. That could be something. Looks like this path has some news out here. UiPath post fiscal loss, blah, 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 blah. This is going to break down to lows over here. Obviously it's down already 18%. So you got to be a little bit careful. Like you don't want to be, chasing this thing down in the hole. But if this ORBs or, does a little pop and go at the open, that's probably something we can keep fading. I'd roll with that. And then you can see here, like you got all these Chinese stocks. IQ channel launches of Roku devices. Oh, that's from a couple days ago. These are probably going to be rough, right? Because you got like the delisting news out here. See, like these are all faders, guys. If the Qs roll over here, we break under these, then I think we take down this Baidu. Like you can see here, like see how you're starting to break under this range. Like that's probably going to be a fader. If this PDD loses about 40, let's go to this is your spot here. If you lose 41.50, give or take, that's probably going to be back into the, the fade lifestyle. Those are probably the two that are the cleanest or the closest to crack. And then the futures already cracking. I think those are where you go if the market wants to roll over. And we're already starting to see kind of, right, like we might get a little bit of a pull. We're starting to slowly drift there anyways. If we need some other shorts, I think this Etsy's, right, you just kind of had a dead cat bounce in the MAs and you're starting to crack here. If you start to lose these ranges, it's got some room to fall. It hasn't had much of a bounce, minus those kind of 4 days. It's really been just, while the market's been going bajonkers, like it's been just kind of hanging on that cliff. It refuses to move. So it's got that kind of relative weakness to it. That could be a little bit of a fader. Add this dog food company, what's it called? Chewy. They had earnings out yesterday. You had a big gap on it. It even did a little bit of a VWAP fizzle over here. You really want to see this. So it's already like a pullback in the MAs, a fizzle. Watch this bad boy. 41.75. Yeah, I like that. Especially since they bombed on their earnings yesterday. Q4 loss, all that kind of fun stuff. This might be one of those ones that dumps off real quick at the open too. We've seen this type of play like the ton where, you have the earnings come out and then it meanders a little bit during the day. You take out the previous day's low, you get that continuation where you can come in hot on it. So I do like that one also as a potential fader. And then, I think this Qualcomm got really dusted off yesterday. All the semis got dusted off. AMD also had but this one seemed to move a little bit cleaner. You see here, the range on this was a good ATR on this bad boy. You got pretty much a flat open on it. So if it goes green to red, takes out previous day's lows, you can definitely you can roll with that too. I think that's really all you need on the short side. SC tends to have the biggest range on it when it rolls over, but it's at kind of like this weird spot where it's like in between resistance and support. That's why I thought the Baidu and PDD would be a little bit easier, but frankly, you can roll with this one, in general. Let's talk about maybe some just day two plays on the long side. Yeah, we had some inside days, and we had an inside day in Hood yesterday. This could get picked up. You've got a rounding pattern here if we need some longs. You had an inside day in IGMS after the big run, right? You had an inside day on here and pretty much a flat open. So if we need longs, like either one of those could be a potential long. Space had an inside day, so you had a big run, right? And very, very narrow range day. Now you got a flat open. So that's essentially the right quintessential of what you want to see on inside days. All three of those could be, potential longs. And then, the rest is just going to be kind of a read and react on the market. I don't know if there's got to be, anything special that we got to be doing beyond that. Yesterday was really, really good range. I took off because the morning gave some goodies, and then I should have fucking stayed. The end of the day was really nice. We had really good fades and right a whole host of these kind of names. You can see already AMD's got a weak open. It's got a downgrade coming in too. So yeah, let's see. We'll keep an eye on some of these, Sammy, see if NVIDIA did not want to die as clean as AMD or Qualcomm. Its chart is still actually holding up pretty damn well. I think the AMD is just easier. And it did get a downgrade today. So if the market fades off, like that could be something too. We don't necessarily know, right? If like the market's just going to fade off. It just gave back 1 day's worth of gains. It's not really the end of the world, but we are still in that like kind of overbought. We're in that overbought, short-term overbought condition where it'd be nice to have a couple days pullback. You need to kind of, one big, like if you're a bull, for example, one big wipeout day, really get the fear back in the market. That's really what you'd want to see. Like if you're a bull, like you want to see that just 2%, 3% nasty down day, and then it just gets digested. That's usually the best way to kind of catch people off guard. We'll see kind of what goes down. Is this the beginning of maybe a little bit of a deeper fade, or it was yesterday just your kind of classic inside day? Not really sure. We'll have to play both ways today. That's why we got a mix of longs and short. There's some days where you're just like, fuck it, right? Like everything is a long. This is it. We had big update previous day, so on and so forth. Today will be a little bit more of a mixed bag, and it's the last day of quarter. But you do have like a whole host of these little, even the blast from the past. CLVS is going. Man, I haven't seen this thing. We used to trade this thing back when it was $100, give or take. It's incredible. Yeah, you can do MTTR. It's this type of name is getting picked up. Everybody's asking about the pod stocks, huh? The pod stocks are holding up, but they did have a reversal day yesterday along with the rest of the market. I hate when they have these kind of wicks on them. It really makes things fucking tricky. They are holding up. I would anticipate, they have some vote in the House or whatever. Once that goes through, then they'll probably fade back off. It's usually buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So a lot of times people think, oh, if the vote passes, like it'll probably go up. No, they go up before the pass, and then they fade off as soon as the news is out. So they look okay. I mean, pot stocks is like the lowest of low in terms of the traders that trade it, right? Like if you see like somebody that trades pot stocks, like like almost everything about them. You know what they eat, what kind of girlfriend they have, what kind of cars they drive. You put a guy in front of my face that says like, hey, I own TLRY. I know everything about them, right? I have a friend that owns TLRY. And so, like, I already know there's like a stereotype in my head of what that person is. And that's a pot stock guy. Yeah, Tarun, what the fuck am I supposed to do with a pair of shorts that have like a longer pair of underwear built into it? You really should not try to sell those. Hold on, let me find out. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I thought these were like, you said you were doing day trading t-shirts. Why are there underwears built into them? I don't get it. Why are they so long? By the way, you know, I'm 215 pounds. This is a medium, and they're also made in China. These you can't sell these. You can't sell these. I thought you were sending me like some day trading t-shirts. I know everything about this kind of stuff. This prototype will not work. You want me to send them back? I got you. You keep sending me stuff. You want me to send those back? You could probably like re-gift them to some Indians, because I got to throw them away, obviously. I got to throw them away. I guess I could give them to Goodwill. Yeah, nobody can wear those. Why is there like, why is there shorts under the shorts? That's what I'm very confused about. Why would anybody put shorts under their shorts? It doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't soak anything up. Then you would be just like baked into your own stuff because you have like these tight shorts over your shorts. I don't really understand it. Hey, who knows? All right, let's get back to work here. Oh, back to it. Hey, Junior, hey, JJ, by the way, we'll just wait for them to kind of come out of that range. At some point, like they might, if they pick up steam and get out of here, then they will. By the way, I love getting gifts. I was just more perplexed on this one because he told me he was doing like some day trading stuff. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to get like some, you know, like cool day trader t-shirt. And I got these pink shorts with shorts under them. And I got very confused. Wayfair. Hey, Dennis, what's up? You know what? Wayfair is really tough to trade just because it's so thin. I don't know. You can do it. I mean, I think Etsy just trades a little bit easier, frankly, but I totally get it. Good. All right, let's just kind of review back. We've got on the long side hood, CLVS. On the short side, we got all these China names, PDD, Baidu. RH also had earnings out yesterday. This could be a day two play. Etsy for a day two short. Qualcomm for a day two short. And then VIPs. KC had buybacks. Good, 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 good. I think we're in for some good old-fashioned Christian fun today. Good old-fashioned God-fearing Christian fun. And just remember, guys, if you trade bad, you'll end up being that guy that has shorts under your extremely long shorts. Trade well, folks, so you never have to rely on Chinese double shorts. These are amazing. Josh, you want to wear these? Dude, man, you made my day. Jay Joshi's probably just shaking his head like, yeah, man, he's always been like this crazy. Cool, cool, cool. Let's have some fun today, guys. Make quick work out of this. All right?